Hello.
Hello, who am I talking to?
This is Ann Wilson and Nancy.
G'day, girls, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Well, just wanted to read this little piece out to you to start off the interview because we wanted to start it on the air. It was part of your publicity sheet that we got here telling us a little about Heart, and it goes like this. According to critics on both sides of the border, the American-born, Canadian-based rock group Heart makes room for romantics even in the cynical circus of rock. Heart is a powerful rock group which has inner feelings, emotion, passion, and spirit. How does that read to you?
God, that sounds great.
A little flattering, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's the impression that we've got of you so far, and we'd like to welcome you, at least by the telephone, to Australia.
Oh, thank you.
Are you both on separate telephones?
Yes, we are.
Oh, fantastic. Well, if you'd like to go back and tell us the story of Heart, because it's a little unusual to have, first off, a rock group that's led by two ladies who do all the writing and the singing, and secondly, I haven't heard of a rock group out of Seattle since the Mermaids back in 1965 doing Popsicles and Icicles.
Oh, God.
Can you remember that thing?
Yeah. Popsicles, yeah. Right.
That was about...
well, there was always Jimi Hendrix, you know.
Yeah, but he wasn't a lady like you girls are.
Oh, yeah, right. Right.
Well, is that Anne that I'm talking to now?
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little about the background of Heart and where yourself and Nancy got the movement together to make the music and to form the group?
Well, we didn't actually form the group. We joined it. Roger Fisher, the guitar player, and Steve Fossen, the bass player, actually formed it about 10 years ago.
Really?
And they just kind of kept on with it, down through the years, and the name went through lots of changes, and they finally arrived at Heart. And then I met them about 6 years ago, and Nancy joined about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we got the two other guys, Mike DeRocher and Howard Lease, about a year and a half ago. But at the time that Nancy joined the band, and she and I were in the group together for the first time, that's when we started to write music for the group, and like this edition of Heart was really born.
Right. Well, how did it evolve that yourself and Nancy were writing so strongly together? I mean, there doesn't seem to be much of a collaboration with the guys in the band as far as the writing is concerned.
Well, Roger Fisher is helping, especially on the new album. He'll be contributing a lot.
Yeah.
But I think Nancy and I just do it together because it works so well, because we know each other so well, being sisters, and there's no problem with any ego problems or anyone getting hurt feelings if someone writes something and the other one doesn't like it. So it works out really well. We have a really similar taste in both words and music. Yeah.
Where do you think that works most on the first album? On the album that we have with us now?
On Crazy on You and on Dreamboat Annie, for sure.
Why those two songs in particular?
Well, those two songs were the ones that were written very quickly because they were written from very strong inspiration. They just kind of wrote themselves, in pouring out. And now that I think of it, the same with Magic Man, and what else? White Lightning and Wine too.
Right. Well, if you can just sort of trace the story of Dreamboat Annie, because being in three parts and being broken as it is on the record, maybe you can describe to people who haven't had a chance in Australia to hear it yet, because the album is still very new, the story of Dreamboat Annie and and the flow of it.
Well, Nancy, you want to speak up here? Well?
Nancy, it's all yours.
Well, so the story can be taken in many ways, of course. There's not only one interpretation that someone can have, but in general, it's about a young girl who is what you might say a little disoriented with with her surrounding life, or maybe she doesn't have very many friends, or maybe her truest and deepest friend is a sailboat. Yeah, or in her fantasy, she doubles as a sailboat, you see.
Yeah.
And in her dreams and fantasies, she can sail wherever she wants as a sailboat, Dreamboat Annie. And like the songs on the album, maybe the places she visits, and the fact that the theme comes in 3 times is just like a reintroducing of her in that form.
Okay.
I meant to sort of carry you along in a new light each time. Yeah.
I think a good idea would be to play the 3 separate segments together and run them all through so we can get a feel of it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to say introduce it together? Just say here's Dreamboat Annie, Fantasy Child, Dreamboat Annie, and the reprise. And just say, hi, this is Ann and Nancy Wilson of Heart. We'd like to introduce Dreamboat Annie for you.
Okay. Well, I don't think that we better say it in unison, because I think that probably might sound a little corny, but we could say something where we alternate lines, maybe.
Okay, that'd be great.
You could say, hi, this is Ann, and I could say, Ann Nancy Wilson of Heart, and then you could finish it. Oh, well, okay, sure. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready over there in Australia?
We're rolling.
Okay, hi, this is Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson of Heart, and we'd like to introduce Dreamboat Annie, Fantasy Child, the song itself, Dreamboat Annie, and Dreamboat Annie reprise.
Okay, and
Dreamboat Annie. Yeah.
And could you just say on 1270 2SM?
Okay, just out of the blue.
Just out of the blue, yeah.
Just by itself?
Right.
Well, okay, man, you go ahead. On 1272 FM.
Great, and just once on 1420 3XY. That's our other station in Melbourne.
1423 XY.
That's right.
Should I say this one too? Yeah. On what is it again?
1420 3XY.
On 1423 XY.
Hey, that's great. That'll sit in really nicely on the radio, and should be a good introduction to it.
Those first call letters, I think I was asking a question. It might sound like I'm asking you if I'm saying the right letters.
No, it's cool. It sounds good.
Oh, okay.
Sounds great.
Okay, good.
Right. Can we? Yeah. Talking to Ann and Nancy Wilson of Heart at the moment, and girls, we'd just like to sort of get back. We heard a lot about Heart. Naturally, we didn't hear the music because the album wasn't released until just a few weeks ago. But over a period of, it must have been 10 or 11 months, the album was doing really good business in America and building up towards one of the biggest of 1976. Can you explain the process of how you made that happen? Because we heard some good stories about your touring and breaking the album in different regions across America.
Yeah, the story is really a simple one. It just consists of hard work and a lot of enthusiasm. Yeah, and the people liking what was in the grooves. Like, people won't buy an album on the strength of any hype. They'll buy an album because they like it, you know.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, some albums may be sold on hype, but not too many, you know. Like, people find out really quickly if the album is bad and it's just been a bunch of phony hype. And so we sold the album because of what was in the songs, and because we went out and broke our backs touring and letting people see us at the same time.
What sort of places were you playing?
Oh, we played everywhere. We played all across this country, all across Canada, and we toured Europe. We just got back from a tour of Europe a month ago.
Wow. And how was it in Europe in comparison to the United States?
Oh, it was great. It was really great. We played with Nazareth on the continent and just by ourselves in England.
Good one.
And it was really well received all over.
What song, say, across Europe went down best on stage for you?
I think Crazy on You did. Crazy on You, and they seem to like Soul of the Sea really well. They like they like it when women rock and roll, but at the same time they like it when it gets down nice and quiet and pretty, you know.
Right. Well, Crazy on You, I think that was your first single, was that right?
No, it was Magic Man over there, and and Crazy on You was first here in the States.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Did that do much business at all in the States?
Pardon me?
Did that do much business at all? Did it sell very well?
Oh yeah, both of them did.
Right.
Not as well as the album, but I would rather have the album do best anyway.
Okay, well, we'll hear Crazy on You.
All the music, you know.
Okay. The thing that's really broken apart here in Australia from the album, of course, is Magic Man, which is selling it like crazy in most markets. Can you tell us the story of the girl in Magic Man and what's happening to her?
Yeah? Well, it's a story, it's a love story about a love affair that was a true story. That, in a way, kind of happened to both Anne and I, so it could apply to both of us. I don't know, it kind of speaks for itself. I think each person could apply it to themselves as well if they're in love. Yeah, it's just like sometimes when you fall in love really, really strong, you know, you just get swept off your feet. It feels like someone's cast a spell on you. It's a really magical feeling. There's no other feeling like it, you know. I mean, it's just one of the most age-old spells in existence, and that's what the song deals with.
Where did you pick up that magic riff, that guitar riff?
Oh, that our lead guitar player, Roger Fisher, did that backwards. It's a backwards guitar, but then when we do it live, he plays it forwards so that it sounds backwards.
That sounds pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, well, one way or the other, it comes out the same.
It comes out pretty good anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay, we were just going through the album again a few minutes ago, and one song we picked up really strongly on was Love Me Like Music, I'll Be Your Song. It's a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you.
We were just listening through, and a couple of us who are, I hope this doesn't go down as an insult because we mean it as a compliment, we're Joni Mitchell freaks, and we noticed...
Oh, God, so are we.
Well, we noticed not an influence so much, but there was just a hint of Joni in there somewhere.
Oh, that's a compliment.
It is.
It's a rip-roaring compliment.
I'm glad, because it really gave us a good feeling to hear that.
Oh, that's good. She's probably the only woman artist at this point that I really admire, that I really think stands above the rest and is a true artist and a poetess and musician.
I'm sorry, I missed that last bit there, love.
Oh, too bad. We were just praising Joni Mitchell. We were saying that she's, well, like in our opinion, she's probably the only female right now who we consider to be a true artist and a poetess and a true musician.
Right.
That stands up above the rest and doesn't rely on sexuality to sell records.
In fact, she completely underplays that whole thing, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Is there any of Joni's songs that you particularly like, that the two of you think is maybe the best piece of her work?
Well, I like the song Down to You on her Court and Spark album really much.
Oh, yeah. That's incredible.
But we're really into the new album right now. And the title song is remarkable.
Right.
It's one of the best songs ever in the world. As well as Refuge of the Rose. That's another amazing song.
Yeah.
Oh, furry.
Well, if you girls can pick one, we'll play it. Would you like to pick the title song of Majura?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll play that back to back with I'll Be Your Song.
Oh, God. Great.
That'll sound pretty nice.
What was the last?
Okay. And just one more track that we like particularly, which sort of gave us a similar feel to Magic Man and Crazy on You, was White Lightning and Wine, which is a pretty strong rocker and it's got a nice riff right through it. Anything you can say about that?
That's a song written out of kind of out of anger. It's kind of an angry comment on the process of tearing up that sort of happens, and and like Nance and I have seen, especially in the rock world, where people seem to need their bed partners so thick and fast and heavily, that it becomes a very dehumanizing thing.
Yeah.
And that's what that song's about. And desensitizing. Yeah.
Well, at the moment, like in rock music, there are more women with a strong force. I mean, Joni would obviously stand out at the top, but there are people like Linda Ronstadt, the girls from Fleetwood Mac, who are really making some pretty powerful music, and yourself, Ann and Nancy, doing some strong work. How do you feel about this sort of on push of ladies in rock, and the fact that they're making some great music now, and a lot of guys are going along and really getting off at concerts?
Well, I feel it's about time, like we can't go along in this old traditional outlook of rock music being for men forever.
Mm.
There's so many women in the world all over that have such immense talent that hasn't been tapped yet,
Right.
That when we finally decide to put down our prejudices and our old traditions and allow women to make music and get into it, we're going to be pleased,
Right, yeah.
So much great music to happen.
When I was in New York a couple of months ago and went to see a Linda Ronstadt concert, which was a real eye-opener because I've never seen it happen here in Australia, but mainly because there hasn't been any ladies that have come along that have been that strong. But there were just thousands of guys throwing things at the stage for her and saying, really amazing things at her and calling out and carrying on. And they were queued up backstage later. I mean, do you get that sort of thing happening to you girls now?
Well, yeah, to an extent, but even Linda Ronstadt kind of projects herself in a different way than we do on stage.
Yeah.
I think being a single soloist, as she is with a backup band, she tends to project more of a, sexy type image on stage, which drives the guys crazier.
Sure does.
Yeah. Whereas we kind of like to be seen as musicians first, and so we get guys writing us notes that say, "God, I really like your music," before they say, "Hey, want to go to bed?" But we do get both.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, you've done the album Heart. Now, is that the Dreamboat Annie? I beg your pardon. Is that the first album that you've done? Did you record before then?
No, we just did the demos it took to get a recording contract. That's all.
How come you spend so much time in Canada when you're from Seattle? I know it's pretty close to the border, but you work out of Vancouver a lot too. Is that right?
Yeah, we've just recently moved down here to the States to live because we came from here before. But we lived up there for a while to be with Mike Fisher, Roger Fisher's brother, who was living up there, and we just decided to come back recently because this country is more in the rock and roll mainstream where we want to be.
Okay. How many copies of the Dreamboat Annie album have you sold so far?
We're approaching double platinum right now. I think it's at about 1.7 right now, something like that.
That's pretty healthy start.
Yeah, yeah.
You talked about another album. You're putting some tracks down at the moment, eh?
Right, yeah. And in fact, we're well into it. And it should be coming out really soon. It's hard to say exactly when right now because we're going to take as long as it takes to make it good. But it's going well. Great.
Oh, we've just got a hold of Dreamboat Annie, so we'll get right into that for the next 3 or 4 months and, get off on it before the next album comes out.
Okay, good. You'll have to do a little fast footing there. Yeah, hurry.
I reckon. We'll play it at 78. We'll move it a little speedier,
Yeah, right.
I suppose at the moment it's a little early to talk about touring Australia, but if the album is successful in all the markets, there must be a chance that you'll play here sometime.
Yeah, think it probably will be in the fall or winter.
Mm-hmm.
About a year from now, maybe, or a little less.
Right.
We have to go back to Europe and to Japan, and I'm sure we'll be coming there.
Well, if you come here this time next year, I think you'll have a good time, because by the time it's your winter, it's our summer, and right now it's sitting up around 90, 95 degrees. It's pretty warm.
You're kidding.
Ah.
Oh, God.
We're down the other side of the Earth, you see.
What?
We're on the other side of the planet,
That's right.
and
That's right. And
it's high summer.
Is it or is it tomorrow?
I beg your pardon?
Is it yesterday there, or is it tomorrow?
Well, it's Friday the 21st. I think it's Thursday.
So it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow there.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty crazy.
We are back in yesterday. Yeah.
And when you fly down, wear some strong underwear, because it's an awful hard thing. Sitting in that plane for 24 hours.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well, listen, this is getting crazy. I was just wondering if you could give us a couple of little pointers, just saying, hi, this is Anne and this is Nancy Wilson of Heart, and we're listening to some cuts from our album, Dreamboat Annie. It'd be really nice.
Okay. Okay.
That's so we can play it on the air and just have the introduction going in after every segment, you see.
Okay, you start it this time, Matt. What are we saying? Just, hi, this is Nancy Wilson, and this is Anne. And we're listening to some of the cuts on our album, Dreamboat Annie. Is that good? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Hello, this is Nancy Wilson of Heart, and this is Anne Wilson. And now we're listening to some cuts from the album Dreamboat Annie. Hope you like it.
Okay, that'll be nice. And if you could just do one saying, hi, this is Anne and Nancy, and pretty shortly we'll be having a special night. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Coming up Sunday night on the album show, we'll be listening to some tracks from our album. We'll be talking about our album Dreamboat Annie and the success of Heart.
Okay.
Yeah. If you say just calling from Seattle too.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's a lot. Okay, you go ahead and start it and just give it to me and I can say all the rest if you want. Okay, I'll say calling from Seattle and then you do the rest. Okay. Hello, this is Nancy Wilson of Heart calling from Seattle. And this is Ann Wilson telling you that on Sunday night we'll be listening to our album and we'll be talking some more about it and about the success of Heart. I think we better do that again. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say Seattle like that.
Right. If you can just say that it's on the album show too, because we have
the album show.
A show where we specifically break and play a lot of albums.
Okay, and it is Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hello, this is Nancy Wilson of Heart and Ann Wilson calling from Seattle. And we'd just like to remind you that this Sunday night on the album show we'll be playing our album Dreamboat Annie and talking about the success of Heart. We'll be there.
Oh, we've got that. Yeah, that's cool. Just one more on 1272 SM.
Okay. On 1272 FM. Great.
All right, girls. Well, it's sure cleared up a lot of points about the group. Talking to you tonight, and we'll be looking forward to the next album and maybe looking forward to seeing you out here next summer.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Okay.
Don't forget to bring those bikinis, because I told you it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
And good luck in the States. I beg your pardon?
We're getting good rain tans as it is out here.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope 1977 is as good as 1976 was to you, even better.
Oh, I sure hope so, too. Well,
Okay.
same for you.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Good luck. Bye.
Bye.